Good night, Sports Friends and family. Good night, everyone. Welcome to another Sports Friends podcast. And as always, I'm your host, Levana. With me tonight, I have our resident analyst, as always, Ryan Lawson, the Chelsea man. And with me tonight, also, I'm on the show before, but it's been a while since he has been back here. Talking about none other than the man that was once Jamaica. He wouldn't say once, because it's still in his blood. He's a true blue man. Stephen Gerrard Ling, welcome, boss man, a Liverpool fan. And we have Sherwin, the man come back from his voyage. Fresh haircut and all these things, looking like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Once again back in the building. Welcome, boss. And he's in a chirpy mood because his school, St. Elizabeth Technical, is doing pretty well at Champ. So he's in a buoyant mood. And on that note, that is where we're going to start. So, Stephen, it said that this year is the year of the team on 189 All Up Road. As it stands, you guys are basically 8 points behind Kingston College. As it pertains to how tomorrow will look the final day, do you see you guys going on to win the championship?
Yeah, man, I think JC can pull it off. I think them can pull it off, man.
So in terms of athletes for you guys tomorrow versus Kingston College, do you guys have the same amount of, well, not necessarily the same, but in terms of athletes in finals, do you guys have more or it's just balanced across the board with the two schools?
I think it is balanced, but one area that I'm watching is the jumps. JC over the years has a very good jumping program. I'm going to watch the jump finals, and if JC can score maximum points there, then I think they should pull it off.
And you guys should also be buoyed by the performance by Javier Brown in the 400-meter hurdles Class 1 finals where he ran that 49.86. And trust me, it was a brilliant time from him. And you know what impressed me about it? The fact that he doesn't have the best hurdling technique because he clears the hurdles at a high clip. As a hurdler, you tend to want to get closer to those hurdles.
Right.
And also, if you look at him, he was basically, well, a lot of people might say he paced the race good. However, he was lagging in behind for the first probably 200 meters thereabouts. And even in the last around 30 meters, you notice that he stopped, well, not necessarily stopped, but he was there celebrating, kissing, and all of that. So, had he run through fully, I believe he could have run probably 49.5 or thereabouts because I believe he's a supreme talent. If memory serves me right, I believe he's also first year class 1 because he won class 2 in 2019. So it's a good pickup for JC and getting that maximum 12 points there and seeing KC finish what, 5th and 6th. Only augurs well for you guys going to tomorrow.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fight, but I think JC is going to push it. As I say, I'm watching the jumps. The jumps for me is what will push either school over the edge. And I believe JC has the advantage there.
And a lot of people might say you guys can possibly count in sure 24, well, not, I mean 18 points in the 200 and 400 for class 2 boys with Mark Anthony Miller because he seems in supreme shape.
Yeah, Mark has been running well all season. Been running well.
But I can tell this much, I'm hoping that my boy can upset him in the class 2 400 meters. That's Derek Grant from Ferncourt. Mark got one over him earlier on today in the semis, but you know that tomorrow is the final. It's a different fish to fry. So let's see how that goes. No, Sherwin, Stets has been doing very well throughout this championship. They swept the 100 meter for boys, the one class 1 with Sachin Dennis, class 2 with Orlando Wint, and class 3 with Tremaine Todd. What is going on down there, man? It seems like Ronaldo Walcott is doing a very good job. Sherwin?
Disappear.
All right, Sherwin, go ahead. Sherwin is back, but his connection is bad. As I was saying though, they seemingly doing a very good job down there, and it wasn't much of a surprise to a lot of people because these three guys have been performing very well right throughout. And Yes, some of the KC fans might have thought that Nkrumah would have upset Sachin Dennis in the class one and probably Antonio Watson, but it wasn't to be. Dennis was the man on the day and he turned up. I'm sure we're there now.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and talk about your team.
Well, it's not a surprise that we're in the position that we're in. I mean, it has been a long term objective since I've been at States. For the team to move from its original fifth position and try to finish either third or fourth in boys champs. The girls side of champs always give us a fight, and with the principal being as enthusiastic about sports as he is, then we know that this was eventually going to happen with the investment that he has made in the track and field down there at States. However, the thing is moving away from finishing third or fourth over the next 5 to 6 years and actually try and competing. And why I say 5 to 6 years is because that's the time frame that you will get in seventh graders into the school system to develop them right up until 11th grade, so that you can build a proper fields program. That is where Stets is short. If Stets can develop a proper fields program, we'll do much better in terms of competing for the actual champs title. And it is not beyond us because we have all the resources there to do it. So it's not beyond us. But the boys, they've been doing really well. Um, and they have made St. Elizabeth and Manchester really proud since nobody else is carrying Manchester. Yeah,
Producer,
and
you hear that?
they have they have made both St. Elizabeth and Manchester really proud. Overall, it makes country people happy when this happen. Overall, country people feel proud when them things are happen. And
When what is happening? Boss man, I just mentioned them now. I don't need states to make me feel proud enough. You see this? Take a closer look. Our two final began individually in a boss. Remember
which is
that
right.
in the class three 400 meter for girls, Abigail Campbell of Ferncourt is the favorite. When I look at the class two boys 400 meter, I just mentioned Derek Grant. He's also into the finals and he's seen as one of the title favorites.
Yeah.
Also, I've another athlete in the 800 meter. I believe it is class. If memory serves me correct, I think it's class three boys. He's also into the finals, and also the 4x1 team class two were also into the finals. So I'm guaranteed points. And like you said, that's cooled down by Manchester. But in terms of that though, boss, I don't need stats to make me feel proud. Friend call make me feel proud enough.
Yeah, I see somebody saying something about Homewood, but remember, Homewood is a female dominant. Homewood has been female dominant in champs, so you expect Homewood to really, in terms of girls champs, to really bring home stuff. But in terms of boys champs, it's always the town schools that have been dominating.
True.
And for a country school to come and squeeze out the likes of Calabar and whatever, it feel good. And San Diego, it feel really good. Understand? So yeah, big upstairs always I say a trend. Money I know we problem, Money I know we problem. Like some school, money I know we problem.
But
No problem.
since you just mentioned that, let me give the point standing for the boys.
Yeah.
So in first place is, well, let me start from fifth. So in fifth is St. Jago High on 63 points. In fourth is St. Elizabeth Technical on 93. Calabar is in third on 144. JC are in second on 179.5 points, while KC are out front with 187. So as I mentioned earlier on, KC is basically 8 points ahead of JC as it stands. So, Sherwin, our producer is saying that if you check the historical, if you check the history, the point that you just made is not necessarily factual.
Listen,
Because
this
guess what?
the
Most of the top boys school, right? Bones are sure in banter, right? Generally at champs, the top boys school most times don't win the 100-meter races. A lot of times our schools from countries throughout the years.
No,
Just check history.
but that's not what he's getting at. What he's getting at is he's saying that states are actually giving the boys teams a challenge. That is what he said. In terms of points wise, remember that he said they're getting closer to Calabar and having Calabar teams like those. That is what he actually said. So technically, he's correct.
I thought he meant the spirit.
No, he's talking overall.
Exactly.
Where's the Sherwin? You just need points and stop try go after, eh?
Exactly. It's about boys champs, right? I talk about boys champs and how the town schools. The town schools have been dominating boys champs, St. Diego, Calabar, KC, JC. In the most recent time, champs 100, who win it? Woolmers. They always dominate. And for your boys, for your country team, for your country school, in the mix of that now, you feel good. You understand? We're not talking about girls' champs because we know girls' champs belongs to Edwin Allen, Homewood in the past and whatever the case is. You get what I say? But when you talk about boys' champs, the 5 town school that we call always dominate. You understand? And if states come in at the middle of this and I give you trouble. Remember the year, the year, I can't remember the exact year, but there was a year when KC win champs by 0.5 points, right? Don't remember the year, but some of man them over Calabar. States was actually the reason why KC won that champs because of the last race of the night, the 4x4 relay. You understand? And States come out and finish before Calabar in the race, right? Which gave KC the edge for win champs by 0.5 points. You get what I say? So, for States in the mix now, in a 2021, I give them town school their fight for their money, even though we're not going to win champs or even come close to come second, then it have to count for something. You get what I say? So it's not a hard thing.
Sure.
So what you're saying is that you're closing the gap on the bigger schools.
That's what I'm getting from it.
Exactly.
And if you look at the current team that they are put together, you know, majority of these guys will be back next year. Even Dennis, who is in class 1, it is said that he can also partake in champs next year if he wants to, because this is actually the first year he's actually competing in class 1. So he can possibly return.
Remember him did miss last not last
yeah man,
champs,
2019 man. Yeah man,
2019 champs because of injury. Listen, you see the thing about recruitment when you are recruiting a them thing, yeah, Zine, you have to check, you know, only check the talent, but you check how long you can have the talent for. Because a student can born between January. Remember, you know, a student have to be born at the start of the school year, you know, for them to eligible to participate in them last year of any it's a related sport whatsoever. So they have to ban like September 1st. So September 1st, you're born September 1st of the said year, you can participate. If you're born October 31st, you cannot participate. You understand? So it work, you know. So a part of the recruitment is so if you're born, so all right, let's say the cutoff age is 19, Ryan, right? And a kid is going to be 19 on the 31st of October, right? Of August, sorry. ISA rule states that they have to be 19 in when the school year is going to begin, which they typically count as September 1st.
So from September 1st onwards.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
because they said October 1st, you know. That's why
no, sorry.
You made a mistake with October.
It's
oh, that's why I was wondering how September and then October.
Yeah, August.
Okay.
Finish up.
No, continue.
Please proceed.
All right. I'm going to ask Ryan now. Ryan, the other night you predicted whatever about the placings. With JC now 8 points behind KC as it stands, do you still believe that KC can hold on, or will JC actually go on to win the title come tomorrow?
KC.
Because all right, as you pointed out, you know, and Stephen also said it that if you check in the finals for both teams, they basically have the same amount of athletes in final.
And all it take is one surprise from JC.
And if all right, earlier on, as I mentioned as well, they saw Javier Brown winning the 400-meter hurdles earlier on today, and he ran up a very good time in 49.86. So that within itself could also propel them to go on further, because quite a few events, I don't remember if it was the 400-meter where they had a athlete, I think his name is Reed. That man was slated to finish around 14, but it seems that he ran based on instructions that they are chasing champs. The man actually finished second in the event. So with that being said, it seems like they kind of have that to get them over the line now. So on that basis, you think that they can go on to claim it tomorrow, or will KC championship
Look,
title?
tomorrow is final day and it's crunch time. You just have to go all out tomorrow. And being that they are this close, they have nothing to lose. So they just have to go all out and cut into KC's points wherever possible. And just bring 1 and 2 surprises here and there and keep consistent with their placings that they're expected to get otherwise. And that can bring them over the line. So they have a very good chance. They are less than 10 points behind. So they just need to go all out and say, okay, look, tomorrow is the last day. We're going to put everything on the line. And if we are favored to come fourth in a race, we're going to try and come third or second. And just gradually eat into the points where possible, and the events that they are favorites to win, they make sure that they win those ones.
You see, the thing about tomorrow too, Levan, the thing about tomorrow too is that it's going to come down to the management of both schools to determine who win champs. Understand? Because for KC, it's always going to be let's just be 1 point ahead of them for the entire day. So every race, just be 1 point ahead of them. Every single race. And by the end of the day, KC win champs. For JC, them are going to say the same thing. Let's cut in, well, look a little bit different, but let's cut into the lead. So as Ryan said, if our potential was to finish third.
All right, Stephen, the 200-meter for Class 1 boys. Earlier on today, we saw Antonio Watson running 21.02, and also Brian Level of Edwin Allen running 21.02 as well. And unlike in the heats when Watson was creating his havoc by creating his antics and all of that, it wasn't to be this time around. He had to run through. And on that note, with Level also running 21.021, then you have Zidane Brown from JC, who has been constantly improving all season long. And this is an athlete that I have a lot of time for. From his Glenmuir days to Garvey Massey, to JC, is an athlete that I really have time for. Come tomorrow afternoon, do you actually see your guys probably splitting that two? Because those two have the fastest time going to the finals. And I believe, if memory serves me right again, the time that both of these guys ran earlier on today is faster than the PB that Zidane Brown actually has, because I think he ran his PB in the heats when he ran 21.16. So with that being said, all things being equal tomorrow, do you see him finishing higher than third in the event?
No, let me tell you why. Because as an athlete, when you push your body, so he ran a PB, right? He ran 21.6 it was, I think.
21.16, and in the semis he ran 21.60.
Right. So for him to push his muscles and his body, he'd have to run another PB. And to put your body under that strain is going to be rough. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I see him finishing just outside the top 3, probably 4th. And he'd still have to run pretty well to reach there. So to push his body to that level, don't see it happening.
The PB that he got, did he smash it? His previous PB?
I believe his previous PB was 21.4, thereabouts.
So it wasn't really a smash, so to speak.
All right, in track terms, you'd call it a smash, because if you chip off over 30
Well,
seconds of your PB. That is that is
oh, point
basically
3
calisthenics.
seconds. Okay. So yeah, that's a smash.
Really pushed his
So
body,
so
yeah.
so Steven is correct then.
But it could also be stated that he had to do it, because remember that it was him and Nkrumah that was in that heat. Nkrumah was pushing him all the way to the line until he eventually came on top. Today we saw a different race, however, and he somewhat ran from behind. And remember that Cranston from Stetson, also Raheem Scott were going good. Even the same Nkrumah, because he was in the semis again. And then you have the youth from Clarendon. And let me point out quickly that Clarendon has done very well in the championship as well. They got 1-2 in the class 1 discussed earlier on today. So shout out to Clarendon, also Magati, doing better than Manchester, as Sherwin would say. But but you guys haven't forfeit champs. Your athlete just aren't good enough this year. Simple as that. But the youth from Clarendon, Roger Morris, he was also among the athletes that were pushing him to the line in this one, and he eventually came out on top. And also point out that they were running into a strong negative wing, because at some point in time the wind was like negative 3.4, 3.5, and all of that. So with that being said, though, Stephen, why is it that they don't think that he can push his body more to actually possibly get the second place? Because as people are pointing out, that this seems like the event that Antonio Watson will win, because on all indications he has a lot left in the tank. So why think that he can't just get ahead of Level and all those others?
Yeah, as I said, it can happen. But if you study like sports medicine or the way the muscles work and how athletes push themselves to shatter 2 PBs in one meet is not something that happens every day. It can happen, can happen. But I'm being realistic. Best I'll give him is third. He can push himself. But second is a bit of a stretch.
All right, tomorrow we'll see.
All right, yeah.
Also in the class 2 boys, as I pointed out earlier. Yes, another JC has 2 athletes in the final. Both of them won their semis in Mark Anthony Miller, who is the favorite, and also Jaden Reed, who came from behind to beat Mark Manley. We see you guys going and getting the Quinella tomorrow.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Whoa. Whoa. So it seems like we could possibly see JC winning champs by over 30 points then, boss, based on all indications.
I don't want to be too high, but probably. Probably.
Come on, man. Get straight to the point, man.
25 points.
Come on,
25
man.
points. 25.
That's a bold call.
And that's why I like people who come on the show and be bold and brave, We don't like the coward thing, man.
That's
Just
true,
be brave enough and just come forth and just make your cut. Huh?
Ryan, public school.
Where I said Ryan Family School is they support JC and they go to JC. Okay. So Ryan, the producer is saying that some of your family members actually attend JC. Is that so?
Family members. Don't know if
Yeah,
me
even some far-fetched cousins.
I know of family members going George's.
So
Maybe
what about so let me ask you a question. Are you familiar with this particular person? His name is David Lawson.
Yeah. There are many David Lawson in the family. So it depends on which one.
Alright, the one that is on the Facebook pages.
Yeah, that's a distant cousin of mine.
Okay, but I'm being told that he actually went to JC. So you being a Lawson should support an ex-Lawson school, man.
That means I'm supposed to support George's to them. Because that's where my brothers went.
But George's can't win champs.
No, you see, I should support I should support a school or something to that effect.
We're talking about teams that can win champs, man.
But
go
go
on.
Yeah. Me I listen to now. Me just look on the So how no mention the youth for Edwin Allen in the class 1 were actually run the same time as Watson.
You weren't listening, man. I mentioned him multiple times.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We're now joined by Shakes. Shakes, you've been taking in the boys and girls championship? I said you've been locked out of it totally.
No, it's not locked out, but don't know. I don't have any interest in champs like that. I'm not really big on champs. Not really because of my school background, but because I'm not focused especially on the boys aspect of it. Why? Because they don't matriculate, so it's a waste of time. It's just as one person normally say, glorified PE for the boys, right? It's only the girls that went to matriculate. So I've been listening to Stephen waxing lyrical about his school. Yes, I had an uncle that went to JC. So I mean, yeah, no problem. JC win. I can call him and big him up. But really and truly, listen, it's just bragging rights. That's it. For me, I would prefer to see people spending less time in these PE activities, because I heard, was it I don't remember if it's you or Bones said that Sashin has another year in class
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, I said
Yeah.
it.
Them things I don't.
It is, hold on. It is not factual that it actually staying.
No,
just
no,
a
no.
case.
I know,
All
I
right.
know. But you see,
But
but you see, you
Shakes.
brought it up. You brought it up as a possibility. Those things I don't like. You know why? Because, as I said, over the years, too many times, you just see the boys coming up. They compete against themselves. They get up, they have bragging rights. JC beating KC, Calabar at one point. It's just a merry-go-round. And I don't see none of them on the
Shakes, me not
Olympic stage.
understand you. Shakes, me not understand you.
What you
Yeah,
not understanding?
Listen, you talk about Sashin, and you shake your head when you hear say have one more year. I don't feel we thought that this year was good for him walking a states. For him walking a states, he has been good and he has had the age to participate for at least 2 years in every single class that he has been in.
Bones, let me ask you this. Bones. In tennis, when a junior is better than their field, what do they
Mhm.
do? Don't they step up?
Yeah, of course, they step up. Yeah,
So why is it? So why is it here in Jamaica, when it come on to schoolboy football and champs,
Mhm.
they don't step up?
Listen,
What are we afraid of?
listen,
Honestly, what are we afraid of here in
listen,
Jamaica?
me I go agree with you
Yes,
on one aspect, and I go disagree with you on another aspect.
go ahead.
See, the aspect where I go agree with you, and is that because of what you are saying, because of the stagnation with not moving up. When you're this good like Sashin and all of them, it hold back the program them in terms of development. When you look for other countries where do way better than us, all right, fine. Me agree with you with that. Which part me disagree with you is the fact that these kids are looking opportunities. It's not just bragging rights that you are talking about. Zine, Keith Wellington, when one of the biggest fight that he made towards the government in staging this year's champs was so that the students who are leaving school this year would have an opportunity to get a scholarship. Zine,
Yeah,
out of
But,
this
Bones,
but
championship.
we all
Bones,
know
let me
that.
let me just interject. You know that
We
two
all
things
know
can
that,
be right.
Bones.
Hold on. Go ahead, Ryan.
I'm just saying to Bones that two things can be correct. So what Shakes is saying can be correct on one hand, and what Bones is saying can be correct on another hand.
But alright, look
So
at it from
two
this
things,
standpoint
they're
though.
not mutually exclusive enough.
I can also disagree with Shake's points and total discrediting. The reason being, okay, you have champs, right? Yes, you have the athletes at the top that are actually winning. However, a lot of people don't necessarily pay attention to the ones that are winning. They look at the rough diamonds that are out there to try and fine tune all those people, because generally over the years, right? Look at majority of who have went on to the senior teams. These are people who actually perform at champs. However, then they didn't win. For instance, Elaine Thompson and all those people, they didn't win. However, the talent was identified. They saw someone that could be worked on, and guess what? The coaches take them on their wings, and just smooth out that diamond, carry them to international standard.
But
But Levon,
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 but that wasn't the issue that I raised.
no.
No, remember that I said that.
You mentioning something totally different from what I
No,
spoke about.
shakes, remember that I said
What I'm speaking about is really an athlete in school that gets up and want to go over, repeat a year,
Like Chris
continue at
Taylor.
the same level. So what I'm saying, you win. You win class one this year. Why you need to go back next year to go win class one again?
No man, shakes.
It's about
I'm not talking about that point that you brought up. Now. Remember that initially you said that champs is glorified PE. So I'm
But it
saying
is.
no, but listen again to listen
How
again.
many years? Hold on there, Bones. How many years you do PE for in high school? You realize you don't do PE beyond grade 9?
yeah, it's a
There's
choice
a
afterwards.
there's a reason for that,
Not
right?
everybody the PE beyond grade.
Right? There's a reason for that. So I'm not saying that people not going to get scholarship or people mustn't go to champs. What I'm saying is I prefer to not see a runner getting up and going back to school just because he want to go brag on his peers. That's
For
what I've
instance,
had.
Chris,
That's
so,
what I've
so
had
you're
a
saying,
But
problem
me not
with
think
over the years. And
me not think
hold
that
on the bones. Hold on the bones. And let me ask you this. If I do this and put up my two hands, give me 10 runners over the years that you can say matriculate as males through boys champs. You can't find 10 decent people that have medal at the Olympics, right? Yet still they were big, 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 very big champ stars, right? And for me, the emphasis is just totally wrong. I'm not saying that people mustn't get up and run to get scholarships, right?
you do have a
But
point there, Shake, so I'm not disagreeing with you.
yes, yeah, you have a point per one aspect as me. I say, I agree with you per one, but me disagree with you per the other because shakes, you have to understand. Said to shakes. As me said before, you have to look into all right. If we really matriculate, then like matriculate a session running what 10 when run a champs 10
he
4
ran
he run the other night
10:53.
and right? All right. If we matriculate him at running here now, Zine, who him a go compete out then now when him go semi-pro or pro, where him a go able to continue to elevate himself along that the line. Then probably have to wait 2-3 years
Not
before he catch up to
necessarily,
the
not necessarily. If
Not
you got proper
necessarily.
coaching behind your boss, you can
Thank
always
you.
climb up the ladder. And remember
Thank
that.
you.
Hold on, remember, Bones. This is the man that has run 10-1 already and 10-2. So I
yeah,
mean,
know.
he's not really
Yeah.
far off
Yeah.
when it comes on to the international standards.
The
Say about the timing.
coach,
Yeah.
Alright, Shakes, hold on a second. The producer about to say something. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, all right.
I agree with some aspect of Shake's points because in the case of like Sachin Dennis, right? Why would Sachin Dennis, for example, we're just assuming that he will go back to class one next year, right? Why would he go back to class one in case of a school like Steps, right? That can't win boys champs. We have seen that with Christopher Taylor in his last season at Calabar. Calabar could not win that boys champs that year, right? Based on
Wasted a
the
year.
team that was coming in. But yet Christopher Taylor repeat class one and a lot of those athletes from Calabar when they could have gone on to the senior level or go pro. So that aspect of what Shakes is saying is actually true.
Yeah, and you also have evidence too. Yeah, go ahead, Steven.
Is a touchy point.
No man, I'm saying agree with Shakes. Although I'd like to see on my school win and we'll match up how much champs that.
Someone are gone.
Alright, Steven seemingly gone.
Steven stuck.
Hey,
But I
Shake,
think
Shake,
we know. I think we know the
hey.
point that he was trying to make just a while ago. That I think he was gonna say he would prefer to see the students
Alright, I
matriculate.
have him back now. Alright, go ahead, Steven.
Yeah, right. Now I'm saying as much as I'd like to see my school winning above Casey and I can brag on my friends and we'll meet up. Some athletes have really paid my attention. Look at Ramon Batman McKenzie. That was an athlete I had a lot of time for, you know. There's so much of
Michael
them.
O'Hara.
So
Michael
many.
O'Hara. I mean,
If you start
Jazeel Murphy.
if you start
Jazeel
listing
Murphy,
out now, you won't finish.
Remember the youth at Jermaine Gonzalez, I went there.
yeah. Yes,
Wellness.
Romaldo Rose from Camperdown.
True.
Had so much time.
And
Where
don't
are they
leave out
now?
Dexter Lee, because remember Dexter Lee was one of those that was expected to go on,
Dexter Lee
Dean
won
Skin,
everything from class 3 come up.
Dean Skin and all those youths. So yeah,
World
Shakes
Somebody,
have a
youth.
point. So yeah,
somebody, as Mr. Miller disagree with that, the part of Shakes argument. Shakes
No,
always
look
talk
here,
about
look
China.
here. Honestly,
And
we need to find a way where the athletes can matriculate better.
we
Yes.
Because
do, but Ryan,
if you are
this
putting
this
up,
has
hold
this
on, no,
this
if you are
has been
putting
an
up these
argument.
times, if you are putting up these times at champs,
mm-hmm.
You mean you can
there
put it
should
up
be
anywhere else?
no reason why the matriculation is so bad.
Let me tell you why.
We really need to do better.
All right,
But
let me
that
tell you
is
what
why
part of the problem.
we say it is glorified
All
PE
right.
because the
Yeah,
motivation, Ryan, right, is there for
Yeah,
champs.
it
all
is
right,
for
listen.
champs. Exactly.
But for
It's
Listen.
for
some
bragging
strange reason, it's
Let me
not
tell you.
there for them to get up and turn into professional athletes or even half decent athletes and make some money. Because really and
Shakes.
truly, for me,
just like football.
it's a way for people to earn. It's a way for you to make your families better, your next generation better.
Shakes.
Remember,
Shakes.
you don't need to be on
Alright,
the
Bones, let
track
him finish
circuit for
first,
10
man.
years. You just need to have 3-4 good years, and you make some decent money. You come back to Jamaica. You come and invest in some business. You at that age you still can go to university even if you never go to university, right?
Alright, so yes, Christine saying that cannot blame champs. When they go to the World Youth Games, they also perform. Some people just peak and can't do any better.
Yeah, that's true.
But when they get
No,
older,
but
Listen,
yeah.
what about the
listen.
many athletes that champs mash up? Champs run them in a 6 event and mash them up.
Coach, the
Many,
coaches, the
many, many,
coaches.
many, because them want to win champs and the bragging rights that comes with
When
winning
me say
But
champs.
about, when me,
Sherwin,
when me say,
Sherwin, it goes back. It
listen,
goes back.
when me say about, when me say, earlier me say something about
I'll let you
tomorrow,
go.
something very important about tomorrow. Management. Zine. So them, you see tomorrow, they probably want to, them probably prefer to kill some of the athletes a career to win champs than actually think about the
All
athlete
right,
themselves.
Shakes, this is
Anyways,
a big question for all of you guys. So yes, Jason Parks asking, but who said those who have not matriculated wanted to go pro?
So
that's a good question.
but that's
what is the point?
nonsense.
What was
That's
the
easily
point of
debunked.
running then? What's the point
A
of
lot
running?
of them,
That's
no. It
easily
can goes back.
debunked. You
It
know
can
why,
goes.
Levon?
Go
Because
ahead.
guess what? Look how much money is in athletics right now. How much
That's a
money do
true.
you get to win the Diamond Trophy? I'm gonna
Remember
leave
now,
it
you
at
know.
that.
I
Just the
remember
Diamond
also,
Trophy.
But
the conversation you guys were having for the reason for champs to be had is because athletes want to go overseas to get scholarship.
Scholarship.
but
Yeah.
listen,
Yeah.
but listen.
So
Yeah,
what is the point of all of that then?
shit, yeah, talk about the amount of money where they make. Now we think about the amount of money the school them spend per individual athletes like Sachin, Dennis, and them to get them ready for champs. And who will for money school them spend individual penny. Anyways, may get a chance to talk now. Let me say what me have to say. Um, if this is the thing now, the problem now shakes with the matriculation thing is brain drain. You understand? So what happened with the kids them? Listen up, Ryan. What happened with the kids them is that they are leaving our program in Jamaica. That is a good program. Getting the scholarships, going overseas. When they get the scholarship and go overseas, we hear nothing more of them.
Not
Nothing.
true. Not true. Not true.
No.
Bones.
Again,
Bones. A
go
lot of
10,
these
go 10,
athletes
go
remain in
10.
Jamaica
Name me
and get
10.
lost in the Jamaica system. I'm telling you that for a fact, and I can prove it. But I
Yeah.
brought up this. I brought up this comment for one reason. Chris, I don't agree with this none at all. Reason being, a lot of these coaches peaks their athlete for champs. At
Thank
World
you.
Yes.
Juniors, these athletes doesn't really perform. They
Listen,
don't. So
Levon,
champs
let me tell
is
you something.
Anybody remember Kevona Davis?
Let me tell you
Remember what
something.
I'm
Let me tell
told?
you something.
Mm-hmm.
When
Levon,
run around to the
She
ground.
overseas.
you see the
She
mechanism.
the
You see the
overseas.
mechanism of the body. Because Gerard was talking about it in terms of the sports medicine, right? That
Mm,
aspect of it. The whole mechanism of the body is that you are supposed to develop, as in you hit puberty for girls between 9 age and 13, boys between age 11 and say 14. Now, you can have a growth spurt for a girl at 16, whereas the male will have a growth spurt at 18,
18.
right? So when you get up and have the athletes doing things at 15 as a male, 15, 14, 16, 17, their growth has not been complete. For a female, the same thing. When they start to run at 13, 14, 15, and you're pushing them beyond their limit, you're basically changing their whole mechanism.
Yeah.
So when many people get up and say, oh, these kids don't transition, they don't transition for the simple reason because uno mash up the people them pitney before time.
All right, so
That's true.
Dr. Lang, do
Agreed.
you actually agree with Dr. Shakes on that one?
5,000%. 5,000%.
But it's simple. We can look back throughout the history, and not only that, take into consideration the US college system. US has over what 3 million people, I believe. I'm about 3 million, 300 million people, right? 300 million. You have so many athletes going to school that run in the collegiate system. Maybe it's because they have been trying to push the athletes too much while they are in college, right? Why they don't actually matriculate. So maybe
Guys, Shakes, let me also point out to our viewers that
maybe that is a problem also, because guess what? All these colleges are trying to win. The same thing can apply to even American football. When the schools, they're basically trying to win the American college system. They're trying to win. Them no business, them not necessarily business about you getting up and going to the NFL, right?
but,
They are employed by the schools and the colleges to produce for a program. If you're not producing, you're going to get replaced. But guess what? That is where parents need to come in and try to manage their children, right? This is the last thing I'm going to say. Mr. Walcott is at States right now, right? He is conditioning Shelly right now. So he is working with an elite athlete. So why can't you have a coach that structures a program from you see a talent hitting at age 13 as a male or age 12 as a female and structure their career? Say, all right, this is what we're going to work with, and you show them the path that you're going to work with until they are 18, until they are 21. I am pretty sure you will get more kids matriculating. I'm not saying that Jamaica would have full of athletes, but guess what? I want to put up my two hands like this, and we can't full out the slots for people that get medals as males at the Olympics. It's as simple as that.
Let me point out something to our viewers, because I might have said that it might have sounded like a gimmick, but Shakes is actually a qualified doctor, and Stephen is in the process of studying medicine. He's actually studying medicine right now, so they can speak on the subject. And Stephen, is there anything that you want to add to the point that Shake just made?
No, man, I was just saying that it is a valid point. But it's the same thing Craig Butler has been saying in terms of the football, Have a system from, say, a young 12-year-old or 13-year-old can cross the ball, can score well. Get him into a program that by 17 or 18, he's ready for the national program and he's ready even to go professional. It's the same thing, but we just have this winning mentality in Jamaica. So I guess it's something that will never die.
Is at the moment thing, me just win at the moment and then business what will happen after that.
Yeah.
You see, as Stephen said, it come like you go back to football. What really happened to the footballers them when D Cup, Dakasta Cup and Manning Cup? What really happened to them? How much of them?
There's no program.
How much of them?
Because the aim is just to win D Cup and Manning Cup, and that's it. You get all the big ups, you get all the big ups in the media.
Hold on.
That's it.
One at a time, man.
And then listen now. So there is we actually, if you sit down and look upon it, we actually have a system at Jamaica, It's just that along the line, one of the parties in this system have failed. You understand? And one of the parties we are feeling the system is the JFF when they come on to football, because the JFF now take the cream of the crop from out of D Cup or Manning Cup and develop a proper program to put them in and keep them after D Cup or Manning Cup.
But
Then you
Sherwin,
can go
I
back
could
and
say the
say,
same thing about athletics.
Sherwin,
then
don't
that
worry
never
yourself.
say
Don't worry
no,
yourself.
it's the
Hold on. Don't
same
worry
thing
yourself
now.
about football though. Sherwin, don't worry yourself about the football though. Football will get better from here on in because Mount Pleasant is here to take all those talents and put them into their academy. Don't worry
Listen, you see
yourself.
special athletes in every single sport across the face of the world. Once you can identify an immense talent, it's simple. The same way we do for persons that are in academics, right? Or or for persons who are artists. Why we can't do that for athletes? Why we
Why
can't have a
why
structure?
can't we?
Shakes,
It
I
can
love
be
the
done, you
point that
know.
you just brought up,
Why
because
can't
for
like
instance, all right, Sharon, quickly, let me draw for the parallel that I was going to.
no go on.
All right, Shakes, what I was going to say is that I love the comparison that you just drawn for, right? Reason being, for instance, look at a young Shensia when she just came into dancehall. After a while, you know that Ramesh took her under his wings. Now look at her. She's one of the arguably biggest thing in dancehall. So, as you pointed out, why is it that they can't take these athletes and do the same thing with them and just carry them up further? But this is
The system is
something that
just
Exactly.
wrong.
we'll be stuck here discussing this because the mentality of high schools will never change. It's all about winning champs, and that's what it will always be. But before I go, move on. I mean, from this particular topic. There's a particular girl that I'm actually impressed by thus far in champs. Her name is Lavanya Williams. This girl has looked brilliant, and she's one that I see that is a supreme talent that if they actually handle this girl properly, she could go on. But again, it comes down to what Sheikh is saying.
Management.
The only good thing for her is that she's not at any of these quote top schools. So with she not being at those top schools, increase her possibility of moving on to the seniors. But if memory serves me right, I believe she's actually in class 3 right now. But all the time will tell.
Levon, I know you really want to move, but for the viewers, when was the last time, or when did Kevona Davis break onto the scene? What year?
About
Long
4
time
years
ago.
ago.
About 2017, 2018, right?
Yeah. I think
about
it was
17.
about 15, 16 thereabouts.
Yeah,
No, man,
about
no, so far back.
2016.
No,
No,
man,
man, it's not,
before
it's not so
yeah,
far,
Remember that
man.
she left high school last year, you know?
It's about 16, 17.
yeah,
About
Yeah,
16.
around them
60
time.
because me
But
watch
in
her 1 year at champs
2017,
moment.
but in 2017, we could basically say that, but boy, this girl is really, really an immense talent,
Yes.
right? She needs to leave school. She needs to leave the glorified PE because she's bigger than the glorified PE. Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
We're now in 2021. In a few months' time, we're going to be in 2022. I'm going to ask you this. Where is she now?
She has never won World Juniors. Let's point that out clearly.
Somewhere overseas.
Doing what?
She depend
No, man,
IG. She depend IG.
she's coming into her own now in a Shakes.
No. I'm just asking, what is she doing now? It's a
She's
genuine
still
question.
she's still
rebuilding
running, man.
herself.
She's still doing tracks, man.
She's rebuilding
But
herself because
but
they
she's
run her into the
rebuilding.
ground. They run her into the ground, so she has to take the time
Them
to
train her
rebuild.
shit.
Shakes, it's
then
something
train her.
similar. It's something similar to what happened with Chris Taylor. They run him into the ground, or they have to be rebuilding themselves.
Yeah, them run her into the ground. Me
I
follow
remember
her
one year.
on IG.
I remember 1 year. It was Glenn Mills that talked about. It was it the mechanics of Michael O'Hara, that his mechanics was just totally wrong, and that man was just. And you remember that, Ryan?
I think I remember something.
Yeah, and that man was just running at champs. Why the coaches couldn't identify that the man mechanics was wrong?
But
And when the mechanics try to put pressure on the muscles, yeah.
It's just like a lot of people are actually saying that Antonio Watson, that man should not still be in high school. That man is above high school level right now. So that man should have left high school
Sachin
already.
Dennis should be preparing to leave as well. Don't know what he's still doing there.
But yeah,
Not for Bahrain though.
So we can agree that this is Edwin Allen championship to lose once again. Our final take on this
Yeah.
entire champ thing until Monday. Okay. We're now going to talk about some football. And we're going to start none other than a favor that Sherwin was looking, a favor that Ryan was also looking. Man United 2, Liverpool 4. I'm going to start off with Steven on this one because Steve is a happy one. Back in Champions League mix, and there's a likely possibility with all things being equal, and if Liverpool does go on to win the last 3 remaining fixtures, which are quite winnable because there are also some easy games, Liverpool are in top 4. So, Steven, over to you.
First of all, let me correct you. West Brom and Burnley for Liverpool are not easy games. I fret when we play those games.
Burnley.
Okay, so let's establish that. So we can find something special to beat Burnley and West Brom. I believe either Leicester or Chelsea are going to cancel out each other. Leicester, I saw them against Newcastle. They were horrible, and Man U played their B side, and they barely got past Man U. So I believe one of them are going to cancel out, and I believe Leicester is going to be the one to miss out. If Liverpool don't do the regular by losing to West Brom and Burnley. If they come through and win all the games, I think Leicester is going to miss out.
But, Ryan, you said that you wish United could lose all, 36 games of the season except, 37 except for this one. It wasn't to be because they never actually helped you out. Boss, why are you guys depending on Man United? Why don't you do your jobs by yourself?
No, we intend to do our job, but if somebody can make the job easier for me, why not take the favor?
And
That's
precisely.
But I'm showing part. Why you wanted a United?
No,
win?
that's what I was going to come to. I understand why I wanted you to win, but I don't understand why
Sherwin
you
just
wanted
want
it to.
Liverpool winning, man.
No. While everybody have written off Arsenal from finishing 6th, it's still a mathematical possibility that Arsenal can finish 6th.
Once somebody comes to about mathematical, let me just stop listening to them.
No, listen. It moved past mathematical. It actually did look possible because we beat you. What the year, right? 1-0, boof in your net. Anyways, we get past this.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
And see the 6 points, we get past that. Anyways.
And when going to pay?
If what happened now is that Liverpool was at 57 points, right? Arsenal on 55. If Manchester United, if Bruno had gotten 3 penalties like I wanted him to get, right, and beat Liverpool, it leaves Liverpool on 57 and myself on 55. That's a possibility. You get what I mean? So that's why I was bringing Man U.
Then you have the other teams that game in hands, like the Tottenham, the Everton, still game in hands.
But Everton have a game in hand and then draw.
Ryan,
let's
work with Bones' narrative of mathematics. Do you know that it's mathematically possible for West Ham to still make it to Champions League? All they need to do is just score 30 goals across the remaining fixtures, you know.
How much?
Can they do it? 30 goals.
They have a way better chance to go Champions League than Arsenal of going Europa.
Hey, you know say
shots fired.
I want who play each other. Chelsea and Leicester play each other Monday night. I saw. Yeah, man.
Wednesday.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Continue talk, Mr. Ryan. Continue talk.
No, the thing is, I already the Europe at some whichever Europe me go the Europe.
Mm-hmm. Me sure you know want the Europa.
Right,
well said, Bones. Well said.
But Shapes, overall, do you have anything to say about United match yesterday? Dan? All I have to say, because this is what Shakes to understand with me. No matter how much I rate a player, currently I have on a Bruno Fernandes jersey. Bruno has sucked over the past for the last probably about 10 matches, Bruno has sucked. Yesterday, Dean Henderson, who is my favorite keeper, he was absolutely awful. But come on, which United player played anything yesterday?
Manchester United, they were atrocious.
Nobody
And
did anything yesterday.
they were atrocious. Atrocious. Atrocious is the word. And you know what I don't understand? Um, how do you not get your team motivated to keep your rival out of the Champions League? Please explain that one to me. Right?
Well,
Ole
I have
No,
one
attack coming.
explanation, Cylinder. I have one.
Ole attack coming.
I don't
no.
I have one.
I don't get it. I don't get it. And listen, you know what? I'm not even gonna bring up Ole because
Oh
it's
man.
simply no, Stephen. For me, Ole, as I point out to the guys on the Facebook page, is a manager. He just puts people on the pitch and hope for the best. Right? In that game,
Sure,
technically,
don't laugh. Arteta isn't any better, so
the,
don't
the
laugh.
guys the guys were so atrocious. It wasn't until I saw all the Facebook coaches could point out, why is Marcus Rashford on the right and this man has never ever in the history of his
Everybody wants
Manchester
to.
United career play well on the right, and the moment the man on the left, because guess what, everybody know that Trent is upfield day in day out, week in week out, month after month, year after year. So why you wanna have a fast man on the left? Why wouldn't you just stick Marcus Rashford on the left? As soon as the man came
And-
over at 60 minutes on the left, what happened? Oh, guess what?
Score.
Rashford scored.
And
And also
Rashford has a very
another
good
thing
history
that you should have looked at too, Shakes.
against Trent.
Look at it, right? Both, well, they call them Macfred. Both players were awful. So
Oh,
if you're a coach, right, and you see that Rashford is actually isolated on the left against the right against Robertson.
Robertson.
Don't you switch him over to the left to get at
He
Alexander
couldn't
Arnold?
get past. He couldn't get past
And
Robertson, you know.
bring
None at
on
all.
Mason Greenwood. Bring on
He
Mason
couldn't
Greenwood,
listen.
who is actually better playing on the
Rashford
right.
literally ran away from Robertson, and the commentators even said, "But Robertson has some turbo in his feet because the man literally run down Rashford and
Me
get
think,
before
Yeah.
the man reach
no,
into the
no.
box."
Yeah, me
Right?
think the
But guess
better
what?
matchup.
You mentioned the midfield, Levon. That's the problem. If your setup is wrong, and you are truly a coach, and you realize that, oh, guess what? McTominay not bringing anything. Fred, who is the Maltese, never bring anything. All him do is just sell Malta on the field because that's all he does. Sell the ball on the field. That man sells Malta. That's all he does. What else does Fred do? Everybody always
Hey,
talk about
hey,
Well,
tenacity.
shakes. Stop right there. The man is no
hey,
Maltese because guess what?
hey,
You're a Brazilian fan and he has been called up to the Brazilian team.
Okay.
hey.
After
Me can
two
tell you
and a
this.
half years.
Let me say this now. No, let me say this.
Okay.
Shit, let me say this. As long as
Yes.
the Manchester United midfield consists of McTominay and Fred, we will never win back a Premier League title until we get some
But
proper midfielder.
Sherwin,
But
Right,
you're
you are
right.
the
talking
You
newest
said it.
something.
Christopher
You're talking
Columbus.
something that us United fans already know.
Right.
Me
I
no
You
mean,
know
we
said
have
it.
say,
already sing that tune.
I
me
never
no
There's
know.
one
talk,
thing I
me no
want to know, though.
I never know
And
they
guys,
reincarnate Christopher Columbus as Sherwin.
one second here. Is one thing I want to know. How Bruno was the shot that Bruno took was going out for a throw. How him get the goal for that?
No,
Boss,
it
man,
wasn't. It
God.
was going on target, man. It was going inside
It
the
was
What
on
post.
target?
target. It
That's
It
was
what
on
I
was.
want
target.
to know.
It was.
Was
It
going
was
inside the
actually,
Because
post. Was
I
curling in.
watched
actually
him play so
curling.
many times. The
Nathaniel
ball
did
was
said
more
it.
likely to go for a throw than
No,
on
no,
the
no.
than the goal.
No,
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 man,
no.
it was on target, man.
No.
Ryan,
no,
no.
When
one
Matt,
question.
when the ball hit Phillips, you know, it basically do a 180.
No.
Sorry, not 180, 90 degree angle.
No. Better you say a 45 degree at
What
most.
45? That's a full 90
40,
degree.
45
Alright.
at most. Come on,
Yeah,
Ryan, you're
you
reaching.
clearly never
Yo,
the right angle in school, but no problem.
Shakes. I
That's
know
a
why
full
Ryan.
90.
Shakes, you know why Ryan is down this line? Because
Why?
Bruno broke one of his former player record. That's the reason why Ryan is
Oh
at him from
my.
yesterday.
all right, whatever
No,
with
Because
but
he
the
Bruno.
wants to
ball
cover
All
was
right,
Lam's
not going to the
record.
goal.
all right, no, whatever with Bruno. Bigger argument now. Ryan, me no want to take over your thing, Levan, but
So I
quick
have to say quickly.
question. The goal against Chelsea and versus Arsenal, did the referee play advantage for ESR to score? Was it an
Yeah.
advantage? because
Yeah.
that was an indirect free kick, you know, because it
You,
was
so
a
you
back
rather, so
pass.
you rather to take the free kick than the goal.
Listen, me I ask you a little, no, me I talk to you as a football analyst. No,
No,
He's
the
asking you a
ref played
question.
advantage. The ref played
yeah.
advantage.
So he played advantage.
Yes, and you know that if
You
Smith
sure
had
about that?
missed, you know that if Smith had missed,
He
the
would have
chance
called
would have
him.
been taken from the 6 yard line.
Okay, me just did
Oh,
want to know because me never see
okay.
say advantage. Me never like normally you ref do like this advantage or whatever. But me
But
never see that.
but
The ref
Sherwin,
have to do that. That's a foul.
Sherwin,
That's a
All
how
right,
foul.
did
quick to
you
finish.
how did you
Quickly.
how did you just jump from the Man U analysis to a Chelsea
No, because
Arsenal
he say
game?
ball go out for Bruno. Because he say ball go out for Bruno and that's something
Oh,
similar to
okay, just
referee.
checking.
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah,
wondering. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So earlier on today, we saw a 7-goal thriller between Man City and Steve Bruce. And guess what? Steve Bruce actually won Manager of the Month.
What?
Wow.
Wow. Just wow. And
Shit.
also, Jesse
Shakespeare
Lingard won
Daniel.
Player of the Month and also got Goal of the Month. But as I was mentioning, we saw Man City getting a 4-3 victory over Newcastle with Ferran Torres scoring a hat-trick, and one of those goals was a goal worthy of Puskas Award. Did any of you guys actually saw the match?
Yeah. The thing about the game, Levan, which you got which is a bit historical again, is that Manchester City's goalkeeper on the day
Scott
hasn't played
Carson.
a top flight football in over 2,000 and something odd games or
Top
days.
All
flight
right,
or top?
so let me point out the days.
Oh, yeah.
3,654 days.
3,654 days to be
10 years
exact.
plus.
But yeah, again,
No, that's not exactly true, because he was in Turkey's top flight league. So maybe
No, they're
top
talking
flight
about
in the
EPL, man.
Premier League.
EPL.
Or
Yeah,
in the Premier
EPL.
League. Okay.
Yeah. It was a hard
But
fight. Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm saying it was a hard fought game. It was an exciting game. Newcastle really fought their hearts out. My boy Joe Willock again. That's like 5-5 now against top clubs.
There's so many boys you have.
Better than Mason Mount.
The one were better, yes, better. The one were better than me.
Oh, stop that.
Anyway,
I thought it was your boy Saka.
no, him and my son.
Oh
That
my
is, there's
God.
a difference.
Very different.
Yes, so it was a hard fight game, very entertaining game. It wasn't a game where you would think this is the way it was going to go in terms of the goals and whatever. Probably you were looking at it as a one-sided game, but Newcastle really come out and really fought. And the most important thing about that is that they're already safe and they still want to play football. Probably it's something to do with their upcoming season and building a momentum for the upcoming season. We don't know, but yeah, it was a good performance by both teams.
What
Yeah.
upcoming season?
I
They
mean,
still have the same
hold on a
coach.
second. Hold on a second. though.
If
Pre-season.
they have the same coach, what the difference?
Hold on a second. Let me ask a question. So you said Newcastle actually played football. How can you play football when a team had 82% possession and you only had 18? And two of those goals that you actually scored were from the spot. So what Newcastle did?
Levan, if I'm playing a team, Zane, and they want to have 99% of the football, as long as I can score some goal and outscore you,
You say play football, So
I
play
don't
football is not 18%.
Okay,
There's
and
no
notice
play
I never.
football when it's 80-20.
Yeah, but
Technically,
Newcastle
that's
can't match
possible.
City.
Technically, that's possible with
Newcastle
Newcastle,
can't match City.
based
Yeah,
on
they
the
can't match
style of
City.
play.
Can't match City. Can't match City.
All right, let's
Football
move
for
on.
football.
Nobody can.
Let's move on.
Nobody
Let's move
can.
on. Tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. we see Burnley taking on Leeds United. What happened last time with Leeds Shakes? Did they win? Yes, they
Go
did. They
again?
beat Tottenham by 3-1. So on this occasion, with Burnley taking on Leeds tomorrow, do you actually see Burnley getting the victory over Leeds?
Yeah. So remember, I'd pointed out that they are the on and off team. So guess what? Their light switch going to be halfway. So they're gonna draw tomorrow because they
All
lost,
right,
then
boss.
they won. So they're going to draw tomorrow. Look for it.
Okay, boss. Um, at 9 a.m. tomorrow, we'll see Southampton taking on Fulham. Southampton got a victory midweek that was longer coming. Danny Ings finally back amongst the goal, and Che Adams also scored. Now taking on a relegated Fulham team. How you see this one going tomorrow, Ryan?
Repeat who for them again?
Southampton.
Good
I don't
form.
even know what to say about this one because there's nothing to play for. Both teams, one safe, one out. Who is the home team? Southampton.
Yeah.
And Fulham will be playing for Pride. So let me just call it a draw, a 2-all draw, because I don't really see what is there to play for, except to go out and see some football.
All right. Brighton with Graham Potter playing against David Moyes led West Ham, buoyed by Jesse Lingard, just getting that Player of the Month award for both goals and all of that. Sherwin, do you actually see them pulling off a victory tomorrow?
Who? West Ham? You're asking if West Ham will pull off a victory tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's a funny game, because West Ham has something to play for, Brighton has nothing to play for, right? So it's a funny game. We know West Ham is going to come and try to do everything to win the game, but this Brighton team, I think probably almost everyone can agree that based on how the football is played and everything, they have been very unlucky. Let's not say unlucky, but unfortunate throughout the season. Happy that they stayed up because
No business about that. We are seeing that for what 35 games this season. That
yeah, true,
no,
true,
come off of that
true.
now.
True.
Man,
At
them
time
just
to drop
poor.
it. True. They might at time to drop it. But I want to team the way you're sorry for, not just that side. But honestly, West Ham in for it. In with a chance to make top four. I can't see nothing less than that. It's going to be for me an exciting 3-2 victory because West Ham just seem to be conceding goals, but
We're
West Ham
still
will win.
talking about West Ham on top 4.
Yeah, man, I
Uh,
expect it still, man. But Sherwin,
yeah,
I see you
yes,
mentioning about Joe Willock for $36 million and all of that. All right,
yeah,
here's a deal that I'm going to put forward to you.
yeah.
Manchester United CEO right here, right? Jesse
Mm-hmm,
Lingard, farm of his life. I'm
mm-hmm,
giving you Jesse Lingard in return for Saka.
mm-hmm. Okay,
Do we have a deal?
the deepest part of the ocean. Take Manchester
Okay,
United and
let's
Jesse
pass
Lingard
on.
and dump them essentially.
Crystal Palace against Aston Villa. How you see this one going, Stephen?
I think Crystal Palace might win. They are very inconsistent, but I think they might win because Aston Villa has been very inconsistent this season. But Aston Villa
Jack
likes to
Grealish
play
is back,
through
you
the
know.
middle.
Grealish is
Yeah,
back, yeah.
right. That's what I was just about to say. They love to play through the
Yeah.
middle. Grealish takes up the pockets of space. So I think though that Crystal Palace will have enough to hold them off. Probably a 2-1.
Okay. Next up, we'll see Tottenham taking on Wolves. Shakes.
I would love to see Tottenham continue to lose. Why? Because I want Harry Kane to move from Tottenham Hotspurs, and clearly Ryan Mason is in over his head. So I just want them to continue suffering. Wolves have been playing decent in recent time. So I'm going to go with a Wolves victory. Surprisingly, I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory for Wolves over Spurs. As I said, based on recent form, they have been playing much better. I remember that game where Bale scored the hat trick. What was that scoreline again?
I mean, it was 4-0.
Must say
4.
4
Yes.
or 5. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said that is the only game against it was Sheffield. Yes, Sheffield United.
It was against Sheffield.
Yes. And I remember what I said, that Bale can only do that against the weakest team in the league. Right? Don't expect when you play decent opposition. Even though Wolves are a mid-table team this year, but don't expect when you come up against decent opposition for him to produce like that. So Wolves for me, 2-1 tomorrow.
Next up on Sunday, we'll see West Brom taking on Liverpool at 10:30 a.m. West Brom already relegated. Stephen, say this one going.
If we actually put the ball in the back of the net, I can see us creating chances. Jota running in the channels, Salah running in the channels well, they are going to create chances. Trent has been playing well. If we finish our chances, I probably see us winning 3-0. And if we keep it tight at the back and Alisson doesn't think that he's a central midfielder and trying to pick passes, I think we should win 3-0 if all goes well.
Ryan, where you see this one going tomorrow? Doesn't it? Well, I mean Sunday. Just give me the prediction, because you know that you're the guru when it comes down to prediction.
The same Liverpool.
Come on,
West
yeah,
Brom
man, the
game.
same one.
I think West Brom will find a goal and Liverpool will get goals. So 3-1.
Boss, why I couldn't pick a West Brom victory, but that's why I call for you.
No, I am being logical. As
Yeah,
much
man,
as
but your
I prefer
emotions
West
just say
Brom,
West Brom,
I
yeah?
prefer West Brom to win, but I don't have no faith in West
Don't
Brom.
worry yourself, man. No, you remember the last time these two teams played?
How would they go again?
They lose.
1-1. A
Remember,
1-1?
Simon, right? I believe West Brom won.
Yeah,
they
West
won.
Brom. Yeah, 1-0. No 1-0, man.
Or
Then
1-0.
Liverpool.
Is either they had won that game or it had finished 1-1, but I remember that
1-1.
Sam
I'm on
Johnston
watching
and
us
a game
1-1.
to remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yes.
So Shakes, you're about to say something?
Oh yeah. We might not get to discuss it on this live, but it's just something that I've taken note of. What in the world has happened with Alisson and his keeping? Like, I don't know if you guys have taken note, but for me, his level has dropped significantly. I don't know if
Big
it
time.
is if it is pertaining to the death of his father, where he's not there mentally. So mistakes that you wouldn't expect him to make, he's making
Alright,
them every single game.
let's be
But we
totally
can leave
honest
it
though.
for another show. But it was just something that I wanted
Yeah,
to
but
bring up.
I'm just going to point out something. You know that he has actually been making these mistakes before what happened to his father.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was
From
going to say
Yep.
that.
from AS Roma too. From AS Roma
Yep.
days.
Yep.
He has
But
his
since he
lapse in
had came to Liverpool,
concentration.
he had
Yeah.
improved on that. But
Yeah, but
he seems to be back to his AS Roma days.
yeah.
What
I wish
what mistakes? You mean in terms of his ball playing mistakes?
His overall keeping somewhat
I don't
has
think
somewhat
he's
fallen off.
keeping properly, Ryan. I'm not just talking about him passing out from the back where him passing
His
to the
overall play.
opposition players. I just talking just his keeping. His keeping is very poor right now.
Hmm.
You remember when
So here's a Liverpool fan, El Pistillero, saying that he doesn't have the surety at the back with Gomez and Van Dijk.
That's a big one. That's a big fact.
you remember
No, but
when Claudio Bravo
but-
used to be in goal for Man City? That's
Yeah.
how Alisson is behaving right now.
yeah,
I wouldn't say Bravo, but
Who?
I wouldn't say he's that bad, but he has
I don't
dropped
think
off.
he's that bad.
No.
no.
But he has dropped off.
No, I'm not saying overall, but I'm talking his level right now.
Hey, listen to me, man. It a go take. You see, just like how it a take 10 years to the Arsene Wenger syndrome come out of Arsenal, it a go take 10 years to the Carlos syndrome come out of Liverpool. Yeah? That's how we can analyze this and say. Honestly.
There's a career embedded over there. All right,
Yes,
let's move
man.
on to the final game of this weekend, and we'll see Everton taking on Sheffield United. Sheffield United nothing to play for than, well, we'll say Pride, but not even Pride they don't have to play for. So Everton have been up and down right throughout the year. I'm going to give this final one to Sherwin. How is this one going?
Why it just every one of the game them just look heartbreaking because you want one team to lose and then the team we play against them now play for
You know, but Sherwin, to be honest, you know that I kind of somewhat blame it on you because all the teams that you jump on, you just salt up the team, them boss. Seem like you want the team win midweek, you just salt up United.
Anyways, this is because I want Everton to lose the game. I go with them to win 2-0.
All right, and we'll see FA Cup final tomorrow between
Big one.
Chelsea and Leicester City.
Wow.
I'm going to start off with the Chelsea man. Ryan, how you see this one going?
Well, I can make a prediction that I am 100% certain will be correct. A team that wear blue will win.
Well said. That's the profit. That's a profit. That's a profit loss right there.
One area black tomorrow, man.
He'll give you that same prediction for the UEFA Champions League final also.
Yeah.
That blue will win.
I was trying to hold that one for the Champions League,
Okay,
But,
but
all
yeah.
right, come on. Let's
All
get
right.
it through.
2-0 Chelsea.
No breakdown. Enough time, enough.
Well, huh?
We have time, man, so you can
This is
discuss
what?
it,
This is
man.
Leicester's. When last Leicester has been to a final? Years. Chelsea has even though Chelsea team is a mixture of young and older players, we have that history of winning competitions. It's embedded in us over the last 15 to 20 years. This is Leicester's first final in what, 30 odd years or something like that?
A long time, yes. I think from long time.
So I think they have done very well to reach this far, but I think this is as far as it will go for them. So I think Leicester will be the losing finalist and Chelsea will find a way to win tomorrow.
Never expected to see.
And somebody said Brendan is a choker, which also adds to the world.
Stephen, you're someone that was somehow connected to Brendan Rodgers. Do you see him claiming that trophy tomorrow?
It's gonna be hard for Leicester. Let me tell you why. The wing backs of Leicester, they tend to play high, and with any Brendan Rodgers team, the centre backs love to push up. With that famous slip with Steven Gerrard had to literally be the centre back at the time. So when he slipped, the forward was right in on goal, and we saw almost the same mistake against Newcastle. What's his name?
Soyuncu.
Yeah, he made the same mistake, and then Castillo on the wing made the same mistake again. And the wing backs of Chelsea, Chilwell, either Aspilicueta or Reece James might play at right back. They press really well, and they're also defensively disciplined. So I feel they're going to force a mistake out of Leicester. There's a mistake there. Whereas James Justin is injured, he's very solid defensively. I feel there's a mistake in him. So I believe that Chelsea is going to win 2-1. And they're going to take the cup.
Right. Shakes, what do you say? You expect Leicester All Boys to help Leicester get their first trophy in ages? Chilwell and Kante to make a couple of mistakes tomorrow.
Guess what? Chelsea, they have a top goalkeeper, right? In Edward Mendy.
Sorry, Mendy won't start tomorrow.
He won't? Why not?
Because
they're gonna put
Kepa has been keeping through the FA Cup. So Tuchel saying he's going to use him because he kept all 4 games prior.
How terrible. Okay, well, guess what?
No. Shake. Stick up in, though.
Yes?
We're going to be analytical right now, right? Since as we're analysts. You know that Kepa hasn't been that bad this season.
No, you mean since he got dropped?
Since Tuchel came in, and also since Tuchel came in, we have seen a different Kepa. I've seen the Kepa that I saw at Bilbao.
No, you said you have to understand, and you said when you have less, how should I put this now?
Responsibility in terms of
no, not less responsibility. I'm trying to find the right word. When you have less
pressure,
not margin for error. He's playing less games right now, so he has less chances to make mistakes. Let me put it that way.
Or is it that expectation is just less on him right now? Because we know that Mendy is just total class in comparison to him.
Exactly. And the defense line is also solid. The back three
I think
well.
I think he's playing less games, so he's basically don't have that pressure on his shoulder. He can just go out there and be okay, be himself, and so forth. So I think that contributes to it.
All right, Shakes, how is it going though?
Yeah, so the fact that he won't be in goal, I'm gonna go with both teams to score. If Mendy were in goal, then Leicester wouldn't score. So the fact that Kepa is keeping, I'm gonna go with 2-1 victory for Chelsea.
All right, Sherwin, your prediction, because I have something to say about that.
Boy, everybody just since this Tuchel guy come in, just
Please
everybody
call
just
Chelsea. Sherwin,
over,
Sherwin, please call
over,
Chelsea.
over,
Please.
over this Tuchel guy and whatever. I think that Brendan Rodgers would have probably contacted Mikel Arteta already and to find out the formula and beating Chelsea. So for me, this is not going to be a Chelsea walk in
The
the
same
park.
Rogers that beat Chelsea in January.
Yes. This is not going to be a walk in the park, but you have to take big man advice to some high time to Ryan. Come on. This is not going to be a walk
No,
in the
but I
park
mean, I'm
for
just saying
Chelsea.
that he has beat Chelsea a few times, so I don't see why he needs to call Arteta.
Oh, bro. Anyways, yeah, me I go with Leicester for win 3-1.
Oh, God, man. Leicester just lose. I was just about to say I want Kepa to have a Kepa performance tomorrow where he just drop some clangers into back of the net, and I hope to see Jorginho do something that he did against Arsenal the other day. So, Sherwin, why couldn't just say expect a Chelsea victory? Boss, look how you have been doing very good all week long.
Oh, by the way, Kovacic is available, so Jorginho
Hey,
don't
George,
necessarily start.
why? How you manage Georgina, man?
All right, that for our
Man.
next live. That for our next live. Let's move on to the other things that we have to get to.
He ain't as bad as McFred.
The Syria. So as we all know already, Inter Milan has won. So 2 games remaining for majority of the teams. Tomorrow we see a tough clash for Juventus, who are currently seated in 5th. They are going up against Inter Milan come tomorrow. They'll be at home. I'm going to go with Shakes because you know that I think that CR7 will be scoring hat-tricks week in, week out against Lokomotiv, Plovdiv, Apoel Beersheva, and all those teams. So on that note, do you see them getting the victory over Inter Milan come tomorrow?
I see that game ending 2-1 in Juventus' favor. For some strange reason, they're going to step up tomorrow.
Who's going to score? Who's going to score those 2 goals past this Inter Milan defense?
Dybala and Ronaldo.
Okay. Ryan.
Same score line, not necessarily same scorers, but same score line. And you have to understand that Inter has already won the title, and you said something about Inter's defense. Inter might rest some of their top players, especially 1 or 20 defenders.
Absolutely not. Did you see?
Not
Did you see what they did since week? The man started the exact same starting lineup that he has been starting all season with Lukaku, Latour, and all those guys.
Well, let us see what he does tomorrow then.
Yo,
remember that they don't have anything else playing for now.
Listen, not with Kante. Kante, remember Kante just in a week, you know. He won the league already and he haul off when I play as them 36 minutes in, you know.
Yeah,
So,
man.
It was Martinez, right?
No,
yeah.
no. Yeah, go on.
Was it Martinez? Was it Martinez?
No, I think he hauled off a player and then put on Martinez, and then he substituted Martinez in the second half.
Oh, and Martinez wanted, and you hear that the squad was arranged.
They were in a boxing match, man.
Yeah, so them actually have fun with what happened now. One, let me tell you everything we are going against Juventus right now. Them not in a no good form. 2, them are come up against their farmer coach. And 3, as their farm and 3, they are somewhat of a rival to well, we know they are not like another big rival, but rival to the title then. They are somewhat of a rival to Inter Milan. And to have been winning the league for
somewhat. Somewhat.
It's somewhat.
Yeah, but who has more motivation tomorrow to win?
For me, Inter Milan will have
more motivation to win.
No. over the last how much years did
No,
Juventus
man,
win
I'm talking
the
about
Premier League?
tomorrow.
All right,
Tomorrow,
Sherwin,
Eh?
you were going good up to the point where you said that you Inter will have more motivation. They won't. Juventus will have more motivation than
No.
them
They
tomorrow.
are going to have more motivation. The man them just win the league. You're going to you have the opportunity. You have the opportunity to kick one of your rivals out of Champions League football. Come on.
That's what we had hoped for Manchester United versus Liverpool, and that did not
exactly.
happen.
Thank you
So
very
why
much.
you tell
You
me
can't
that
say
gonna
what
happen in Italy?
me not
Yes.
agree with you about Juventus going to do this and going to do that. We are waiting for them to do it for the entire season. If they come like as I said the same thing about Brighton
All right, but Sherwin, mind you, I'm on the side of the fence that you're on because I want Inter to win because I want Juventus to be in Europa.
exactly. So
That's just me.
me no know what me think. All right, and my personal
All right,
perspective,
quickly.
I think Juventus will be not Juventus, but Inter Milan will be more motivated to win this game for several reasons. And I think Inter Milan actually going to win the game 3-1.
All right, Stephen, you have the final say on this fixture.
All
Possibly a
right.
final say of the night.
All right, I'm gonna give it to Juventus. I feel like gonna find something. Liverpool has been horrible all season, and the last couple of games they find something. There's something about desperation when they're a big club. So I think they're gonna find something and probably nick it 2-1.
So you say, don't expect Ronaldo to be playing in Bush League.
Not that I don't expect it, it can happen, but based on that desperation, this is Juventus we're talking about. They're gonna leave everything on the line. I think they're gonna nick it 2-1. Ronaldo might not show up tomorrow.
And I'm glad that Shakes is here tonight because Shakes, I need to apologize to Ryan,
About what? About BVB?
Yeah, man, them same one, man.
Oh, but I said to somebody tagged me in something on Facebook, and I was like, really and truly, Bayern Munich has messed up RB Leipzig season. And
Come
that was
on,
something.
man. No,
No,
Levon,
man,
that
no,
was
we're not
something.
going
That
to
was
that.
No
something
shit.
that
We're
we
not going to go
discussed
down that
on
line.
one of the lives.
We're not going to go down that line. We're not going to
Oh,
do that.
okay, all right,
Okay. So, Ryan, let's agree with what he said, So, okay, look at it from this standpoint. You're telling me that Bayern messed up Leipzig season, so Leipzig lost to Borussia Dortmund on Saturday.
No.
Nagelsmann-
I'm saying they haven't been mentally the same. They have been
Oh.
mentally the same.
Shakes,
How
hold on.
Bayern?
Shakes, hold on.
By saying you're going to buy one of their players?
No, man, remember they take Nagelsmann, the coach. But
Them take the coach and them take the player a long time.
But look at it now, boss. Look at it now.
And them
Nagelsmann is a good
other centre back basically gone to Liverpool already.
Shakes, we agree that Nagelsmann is a big coach, So you're telling me that Nagelsmann, after being beaten up on Saturday, couldn't motivate the players to actually do well in this cup final either?
In the cup final, yeah.
We don't know what is happening in the camp. You know why? Because suppose the player them feel say the coach a sellout.
So what you say? The man got
You ever think about it,
No. So you're saying
No, they can't feel that, because Nagelsmann is from that area.
Okay. Say no more. So you're telling me that. and also, Shakes, the man them can't tell the man is a sellout. Reason being, the man grew up in the Bavaria area. This man grew up as a Bayern supporter.
Fan.
Big Bayern fan. So how is he a sellout?
Because he went to their biggest rival and he was doing awesome at RB Leipzig at the time.
Shakes, just be man enough. Come on. Just say
let me ask you this, Levon. As a true analyst,
Double down, right through.
wouldn't you have if you are in the RB Leipzig camp, wouldn't you prefer to see Nagelsmann going overseas?
Stick up in. I'm going to answer your question, but say sorry to Ryan first.
For what?
Because the man naturally said it that BVB would have beaten Leipzig. He said it, and he also went on to expound
But I've always said Ryan is a prophet.
No man, but me don't want to hear that. No man, sorry. That me I
I've
talk about.
always said Ryan is a prophet.
I don't
And
want to hear that. I'm not talking about
and
profit.
when Ryan gives score lines, you don't go against Ryan.
Oh, but you went against him and you were wrong. So
Yeah,
say
because
sorry.
that's just me.
Shakes, so sorry.
Just say sorry.
And
No.
it's just you to not apologize either.
Just
For what?
sorry, no Shakes.
For
Just say
what?
sorry.
I still believe that the RB Leipzig team is a
Why?
better team than BVB.
Yo, Shakes, you're a conny body, na brother.
No.
But to answer your question, alright, if I was in the Leipzig camp, yes, I would prefer him to have gone overseas. Simple as that.
Thank you.
And on that note, this is where we call it a night on the show.
Question though, before we go.
Uh-huh.
If Juventus makes the Champions League, you think Zidane will go across since he's going to leave Real Madrid?
That's the motion that's being pushed.
No,
That's the narrative that I've seen all around.
They say they must stick with Pearl. There are numerous amount of times they come out to this.
If you have a Zidane available, why not?
Pirlo is in over his head, just like Lampard.
It's a rumor.
Well, at least Lampard came
Let's-
top when he never have any money.
For me, Ryan, let's see Zidane take up a team like Tottenham and get them to win something.
Lampard is going to Crystal Palace. That's what's
Lampard
going on.
going to Crystal Palace.
Yeah, man, and David Luiz leaving Arsenal come the end of
And
the season.
yeah, thank God. Will I need to follow back at him?
All right, say no more. This is where we call it a night on the show, and it was a very good show. That discussion about the track athletes, and we heard from the doctor himself and the man who is actually studying medicine. So we can refer to him as doctor as well, Dr. Leng. Well, that kind of sounds like a little informal name still doing about. I'm just kidding around. Thanks to Stephen Leng for being here, discussing the chances of Jamaica College to come tomorrow in the champs final day, and Sherwin, who popped up with a fresh haircut after being out for ages.
Yes.
He was out on a voyage, and as Sheikh said, it seems like Bones was away.
Can you imagine Bones resurfaced just because they got a win?
Back again.
No man, Shakes. I was trying to remember the earlier analogy that they drew for. Oh yeah, Christopher Columbus incarnate.
Yeah man, reincarnated man.
Christopher Columbus self, and thanks
The man
again
just
to
resurfaced.
thanks again to the politician himself, the man who says that he is on the side of.
Congratulations to BVB. Congratulations to Ryan, the prophet.
No. Sorry.
Finally.
I've always said, guys, whenever Ryan makes a prediction, you go with what he says.
That's
But
right.
as I said, thanks to the politician Ryan for being here tonight. As always, our resident analyst, as long as the shows go on, Ryan never say no once he's available. Stephen, don't let this be your last time in probably the next 3 months, because
That's true, man. Me like
You
him,
need to come more
because
often.
he do the thing good, man. If you come
of
on,
course,
and
man,
like that,
he was fair and balanced, and
yes, man.
unlike a particular Liverpool fan who is emotional, he's not. I won't call any name. But until next show, peace out, guys. Enjoy the champs tomorrow. Even though I have to say that whichever station is carrying it, I'm not going to mention the name tonight. Your connections suck. One Spot Media sucks. Honestly.
One
That's why I
station
stopped
that
watching.
Hey,
Yeah.
one live on this thing where people can't go watch. When if you tap overcharge for one day, $20 for tomorrow alone, you know. People that move with
Yeah, that's why they say you must sign up for the early bird, Sherwin.
Me not
But
like
guess
being
what?
early.
Clearly you weren't born in
Early-
these modern times.
A bird season coming up, and early bird always get shot first.
Guys.
The early bird pay less.
Guys, until next show, peace out. Take care of yourself. Without Josh Carl, this show would be possible. So let's
Yeah,
see
man,
again
big up
now,
the producer.
producer. And
brother.
thanks to our viewers. We
Big up the
appreciate all of you
Manchester
guys. And you know what we like that about you guys tonight? We didn't tag anybody at all. We didn't tag up anyone. We didn't tag anyone, and we had
Yeah.
like 30 viewers at one point. So that is what we want to see on a regular basis. And Shakes, you don't know that Sherwin is one of your biggest fans. Not Sherwin, you know, Sherwin.
I know,
Yeah,
man. I
Sherwin
know,
is
I
the
know, I
heel of the
know.
boss.
Big up Sherwin. Big up Alidan.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
All right.
See you guys Monday.